pictures of fireworks, you may want to set the appropriate scene mode. For more control over camera functions, you may want to set the shutter priority mode instead. In which case, you'll need to force the flash off, set the appropriate ISO, set the appropriate white balance. You'll need to make sure the image stabilization is turned off, and you might want to set the timer function if timing is not critical. Let's start by setting the appropriate scene mode. Turn the mode dial to SCN. In the back, use the navigation buttons right here to navigate to the fireworks scene profile. Then press Set to exit the menu. With the fireworks profile selected, the camera is optimized for pictures of fireworks. The flash is already forced off, and I can go ahead and take my picture. Place the focusing brackets over something in the distance with a lot of contrast. You can try the fireworks. If that doesn't work because they're moving too fast, use a street light in the distance instead. Press the shutter button halfway. Because I have my image stabilization set, the shutter speed cannot be any slower than 1/4 of a second. And the ISO is set to 80 to produce the cleanest image possible. If you're hand-holding the camera, try taking the picture with these settings. However, if you are using a tripod, you can turn the image stabilization off to get yourself a slower shutter speed. To turn off the image stabilization, press the menu button, go down to the Record menu, and press the right navigation button to enter this menu. Go down to the second page, and select the Stabilizer menu item. Go to the right, and go all the way up to Off. Then press Set, and set again to escape the main menu. Now with the image stabilization turned off, I'll press the shutter button halfway again, and you can see now my shutter speed is set to 2 seconds. Now 2 seconds is probably good. However, in some situations, it might be too much, and all you need is 1 second. For more control over the camera functions, set the camera to the shutter priority mode instead. Turn the mode dial to S. The shutter priority mode allows you to set the shutter speed you want to use, and the camera will set the appropriate aperture. Press the exposure button to set the shutter speed you want to use. Notice the shutter speed is displayed in yellow down here. Press the up and down navigation buttons to change this setting. I want to slow this down to 1 second, so I'll go down until the shutter speed is set to 1 second. Now I can press the exposure button again so I don't accidentally change this setting. Now I need to make sure the flash is turned off so it doesn't accidentally fire. Press the flash button or the right navigation button right here. Go down to Forced Flash Off, then press Set. Now I want to set the appropriate white balance. Press the Quick Menu button right down here. Access the white balance option by pressing the right or left navigation button. I'll go to the left. This is the white balance option. Now, I want to set this to daylight for the most accurate colors in my fireworks. However, if I want to enhance the reds a bit, I can choose cloudy or shade to warm up the tones. Now I'll move to the ISO option and make sure this is set to 80. 80 ISO will maintain the cleanest image possible. Now I can press Set or the Quick Menu button to escape the Quick Menu. Now with the ISO and white balance properly set, my flash forced off, and my shutter speed is set to 1 second, I can go ahead and take my picture. Again, place the focusing brackets over something with contrast in the distance. If the camera cannot lock focus on the fireworks, focus on a street light in the distance instead. Press the shutter button halfway to lock focus. Recompose the image, and as soon as you're ready, press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the shot. Since you're using such a long exposure, I highly recommend setting the camera down on something steady or preferably using a tripod. If you're using a tripod, very gently squeeze the shutter button the rest of the way to take the picture. Don't release the camera until it has finished capturing the image. If the timing is not very critical in your picture, then you may want to use the timer function instead. Press the left navigation button right here and go down to set the 2-second timer. Then press Set. With the 2-second timer, you can release the camera, giving it those 2 seconds to stop shaking before the picture is captured. Even though the camera will be much more steady with this function set, the picture may still not turn out the way you want. That's why with this camera, I recommend not using this function and simply pressing the shutter button very gently and holding the camera until the picture is captured.